Alright, what is going on, you guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today's video, we are going through a full walkthrough slash overview of the Blossom web app or the desktop portal. I don't think we've actually ever done a proper walkthrough, like a high level about it. You may have seen me kind of like tease the beta here and there because that's what I've been using over the past little while. But as of watching this video, if you literally go right now to like blossomsocial.com, you'll be able to explore for yourself, check out pretty much exactly what we're looking at. But yeah, I thought this might be a very timely video to share with you guys some of the things that are live, some of the things that are coming soon, and really what you'd get out of the platform if you're not already on it. I mean, leave a comment down below, you guys, if you are on Blossom with maybe your username or if you haven't joined yet. Very curious to hear where our YouTube community is at relative to Blossom. There's now over 300,000 users on the app. So if you haven't checked it out, hopefully this video is enough convincing to do so. But let's start off, I guess, with the profile page. For those that don't know Blossom, I mean, the high level explanation I would give is think about like Facebook or think about like an Instagram or some sort of social network, but the entire network is built for investors from the ground up. So instead of seeing pictures of, whatever you'd find on an Instagram or keeping up with posts from relatives, on Blossom, you can follow your friends, family, your favorite creators, and you can see their portfolios. And what's very unique, I think you guys already know this, but my portfolio here is linked directly to my Wealthsimple account. So whether you're on Wealthsimple, Quest Trade, Robinhood, Fidelity, Vanguard, like whatever platform you're on, you can essentially link it up. That's what this little verified tab is here. You'll see this little green badge means it's verified. You can, of course, also manually add holdings, which some people do. Maybe if it's a brokerage that you're on that is not supported, or you have a funds in this account, that account that you want to do, you absolutely can do that as well. But obviously, I think one of the big benefits of kind of that one-click integration is that as you make trades and as you go about, dollar cost averaging, which I do, one day ago at ZQT, I've been buying Bitcoin, as you guys know, that does get reflected up in your portfolio pie chart. But essentially, I guess to go through the profile page, you're going to have your pretty standard, typical social media-esque profile with your profile picture, your followers, following, location. So I'm from Richmond, British Columbia, you guys know. I actually did get the 100K portfolio badge. So when you hit certain milestones, you have the option. You don't have to display it, but you have the option of displaying 10K portfolio badge, 100K. You'll see some creators or some other accounts out there with like the million plus portfolio badge, which is very cool. The public facing profile page is a question that does come up a lot. Typically, always, people can see percentages, but they won't see dollar figures. So no one needs to know, unless you choose to display it by your own accord, no one needs to know whether I have 10 grand, 100 grand, $1 million. But what they can benefit from by following my profile on Blossom is they can see how I go about investing in the market. Like, am I more into ETFs, more into individual stocks? Do I like S&P? Do I like NASDAQ? Do I like Tesla? Etc., etc. The concept is that you can really educate and I guess learn a lot from others by kind of seeing transparently what they're doing. You don't need to see the dollar figures to know what people are going for. You know what I mean? And of course, we're looking here at my profile, so you'll be able to see all the different posts and discussions like any other forum where you could go through and kind of see what people are chatting about. But of course, I'm sure many of you guys are curious. Mark is on the Blossom app as well, along with many of your probably favorite creators. If someone's not on Blossom and you want them to be, maybe leave a comment down below and we'll see what we can do about getting them involved. But whether you want to follow Mark, he's got 11,000 followers over on the page. You can see his portfolio, his breakdown of how he essentially goes and chooses how to invest, along with, Adrian Canadian t-shirt. There's a whole suite of people. And I guess, profile pages aside, because that's obviously one element and one aspect, which is following along with your favorite creators or investors that maybe invest like you. Really, a lot of the time spent on Blossom is on the community feed. So I guess if you think about like a Reddit or like a Twitter or like a Wall Street Bets, similar style where there's all these posts and forum-esque topics, but they tend to skew, as if you've spent time on those platforms, a lot more short-term, a lot more, maybe the term is like degenerate, if you will, like the get-rich-quick kind of approach. What's very unique about Blossom is that the community is very long-term focused. In fact, a fun little statistic about Blossom is that the most popular topic on the platform is ETFs. So there's all different topics: small caps, technology, real estate, etc., etc. The Blossom community is very jazzed up about talking about things like VFV or XEQT, or here's Vanguard VEQT. it's ironic because usually on social media it's the kind of get rich quick stuff that tends to sell, but on Blossom, it's a very unique community of long-term investors, which is what we believe, for someone that's just getting into the market and they're like, where should I go? How should I go to learn? In general, best practice is probably looking at something like a broad-based ETF, like a Vanguard S&P 500 fund, right? So for example, here is that exact fund, VFV, and you can obviously look at individual investments or stocks or ETFs here too, get some details, but this is the number one most held stock or ETF across the entire platform. So it's truly a community of long-term investors. 32,000 holders of VFV. We have some very unique, because we are the social layer that lives on top of what all these investors are doing, you can get some very cool insights, like how many people are buying versus selling the ETF. VFV happens to be the number one most bought, the number one most sold, the second most watched, most mentioned. It is a very popular topic. And then of course, if you're looking for a certain investment, maybe to add to your portfolio or doing your research, you can see what people are talking about with this investment to get certain ideas. And of course, as always, you can look at other users' portfolios and see how they go about getting into the market. And for example, this Ariane, if you like kind of how they invest and you think it's someone that you want to relate to, shoot them a follow, and your feed will start to get curated by the people that you're most interested in. A couple of the things that just currently as of filming this video, the markets tab and the learn tab, if you click on them, it'll say feature coming soon. So although we are out of beta, it is technically still a V1 of the web app. And that's where, for those of you that don't know, so Blossom, if you haven't downloaded the app Blossom, the app is really like the core, the bread and butter. But a lot of people requested desktop because when you're typing stuff, and I think a lot of people do tend to do a lot more of their research on desktop. So we're currently, bringing the desktop up to speed, but the core of Blossom starts at the app. Actually, as of today, we're number 39 in finance, the 4.8 star rating across 4,000 ratings, which is, for anyone who knows the app space, is actually a really awesome achievement. In fact, this year, we actually had Blossom ranked as a top 25 app for 2025. So literally the Apple App Store, curate a list of the top 25 apps that they were suggesting for 2025, and Blossom made the list alongside companies like ChatGPT, Duolingo, Audible, like companies of that caliber. So super, super incredible achievement. And hey, if you're not already on Blossom, I would just encourage you to go check it out. Like literally try it out. It's free. So to be clear, Blossom is a completely free app. There is a pro functionality. So if you want to upgrade to pro, it's $8.99 per month, or I believe just about $60 per year. And what that pro functionality gives you is kind of like deeper portfolio insights for the most part. So for example, you can still get all the social experience, track your portfolio and whatnot. But if you want things like particularly, dividend investors love pro, where you can kind of have your dividend trackers, see things like your yield on cost, have goals and milestones, forecast out where your dividends are at. You guys know my portfolio is not really optimized for dividends at the moment. Like it's pretty much broad-based growth. So I see less benefit in the dividend tracking with my current portfolio, but a lot of the pro users are very heavy into dividends. Of course, you get like community stats amongst the community, et cetera, et cetera. So maybe something for you to check out. There's even like a 1 week free trial where you can try it, and if you don't like it, just cancel it. The only two things that I think are not on this web portal at the moment are, like I said, the markets tab, which let me actually pull this up so you guys can see a little bit better. If you go onto the app, so the markets tab, essentially, this is like what people will use when they're out, oftentimes like reviewing, like surveying different investments, doing kind of their research, fear and greed index. These curated lists seem to be extremely popular. So seeing, for example, what are the actual statistically most bought, most sold investments amongst the community. Here's like an interesting list right here, like popular ETFs, where you can go through and see, literally 32,000 people hold VFV, and then XEQT or VDY. It can definitely be an interesting thought starter for you, or kind of point you in the direction of, hey, it doesn't mean that if it's popular, it's great, but it might warrant looking into more because X and Y, amount of investors hold this in their portfolios. Again, you do your research. Of course, you can toggle to the US investments, Canada investments. I was just on the Canadian page, but yeah, you have a whole suite of stuff here, like different sectors. And if you're looking for a tech stock, utility stock, you can go about doing that. Again, this is just on the app currently, but coming soon. And then the last part that is not here is the Learn portal, which, you'll recognize myself. I teach a crash course on there. Mark teaches a crash course on there. A number of other lessons on like even fun stuff. Like there was actually a really fun one that Nate did. New Money Nate, for those familiar. He did a course on careers, like, your 9 to 5 and maximizing, your essentially maximizing your income in the workplace, which is something that a lot of people don't talk about, right? Like how to get a raise or whether job hopping makes sense. It's like it's all tied to your financial future, right? It's like how much you're earning, therefore dictates how much you can invest. So tons to explore there, but like I said, those would be more on the app. I would probably encourage you guys to download both, again, completely free. But just in general, that's really the name of the game. And like I said, like, you kind of find, as you're scrolling through the feed, you're going to be finding people that you're like, oh, I kind of identify or resonate with this investor. For example, Sam, I mean, he's got 1,200 different followers. Maybe you guys both own NVIDIA, or maybe you both own Meta or whatever it is. Could be certainly someone worth shooting a follow to keep up what they're doing, and then also learn about a number of different stocks, and honestly just be part of a community of long-term investors. That's really, like, if there was one little staple sentence I could share, is that, if Wall Street bets and like even X to some extent is like a lot more short-term trader focused, this Blossom is the investing social network, and it's for people that really do tend to think more longer term. Of course, you can have discussions on some more smaller term plays. I literally saw this stock today was up like 67%. So yeah, there's certainly there, you can have your fun and find the people you resonate with, but in general, a very long-term kind of get rich slow community, which is, in our opinion, especially as a beginner, where you want to be associating with as you're learning. You can get a ton of different places and feedback on your portfolio if you want to share. There's even like a rate my portfolio tab. So for example, you can share your portfolio here and get insights from the community, right? Like, hey, what do you guys think about this? I'm investing in April. Does this make sense? And get thoughts and opinions, all for free. So like I said, you guys, check it out. It's blossomsocial.com. Let me know what you guys think. If you have any suggestions, anything to share, feel free to please do leave it in the comment section below. It's been a busy past little while for me, as you guys know, just like slow on the videos. Work's been crazy, and I guess I can properly announce, hopefully, knock on wood, within a week or two, we will have our second child entering the family. So I know I'll have a busy June and a busy summer lined up here, kind of getting through things. But we've kept that one pretty close to the vest. And hey, knock on wood, fingers crossed, everything goes smooth. So far, so good. But I'll probably be taking a little bit of time with the family here and making sure everyone's all settled in, and we're just gonna go through survival mode for the next little while. But yeah, it's June should be a very exciting month for the Beavis family. So hey, thank you guys very much. Appreciate the patience. Love to hear what you guys think. And yeah, if you're not already following me on Blossom, I'm pretty sure most of you guys would be, but my username is @Brandon. Feel free to drop yours, guys, down in the comment section below so I can shoot you a follow back. But yeah, take care, you guys. Let me know what you think. And I hope you appreciated the overview.